Hi guys, this is Sam Bakhtiar, the CEO of the Camp Transformation Center, and Adam and the Mogul Insiders were just here today. We had a phenomenal time. These guys know what they're doing. They came in prepared. They asked me the right questions, and they asked me actually some of the best questions that I've had in the interview. If you're looking to get out there, I highly recommend getting on their podcast and getting on their show.
So guys, we just got to Mr. Sam Bakhtiar's house and we're about to go knock on the door and have a little chit chat. So let's get this going.
Adam, what's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, man?
How's everything?
Good. Welcome to my home.
Hey, thank you so much
Come
for
on
having
in.
us.
Of course,
Yeah,
man.
appreciate
Anytime.
it.
Come on in.
So let's get this going. So real quick, just like if you're cool with it, have like a little quick tour around the area and just
Absolutely.
drop some knowledge for everybody that's watching.
Would love to, man. All right, since you're right here in front of the house, let me show you the office.
Awesome, let's go.
So in the whole house, you know, there's two rooms that I told my wife that it's going to be mine. You can have the rest of the home. So the only two rooms are the office where I can do some work and my man cave, which is the garage.
Okay.
So welcome to my office.
Awesome. So this is like a special area for you, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people like to get massages and relax. For me, just sitting here on the couch, grabbing a book, and just being a nerd, to me, that's relaxing. I love just reading a book, just grabbing a book and just dive into it. You know, drink some BCAAs.
Yeah, you were just cooking up something.
Yeah,
you
got right here.
You got a lot of books over here.
Yeah.
So why don't you like take me through how this collection started and like have you read all these?
You know, I've read about 85% of the books. I have not read all of them.
Okay.
You know, my goal is to read 100 books a year.
Okay.
You know, and I usually almost get them all.
That's
not
a
all the
lot.
time.
That means you're looking at two books a week or so.
Yes, yes, exactly. You know, I ended up like 81 last year.
Very nice.
I'm trying to get it to 100 this year. And so, you know, I was always into books. I'm all about self-improvement, self-education. You know, we all know that formal education will make you a living. You know, self-education will make you millions. And,
Sure.
you know, and that's how we all know that. So for me, reading a book is so much more pleasurable than sitting down watching football all day. You know, I feel like I don't want to waste my time. I want to learn something.
Okay.
And to me, about learning, progress. And by the way, one way you're going to keep your mind young is by learning new things.
Every single day.
Every single day.
So what's something you can tell to everybody that's watching right now? Because interesting you said instead of wasting time watching football, what if you're a football fanatic? And
Look.
I like to watch football.
Hey,
How do you balance your time between self-education and the fun in your life?
Well, everyone always say balance, right? To me, balance is myth. You know, you have to earn your balance. I talk about that all the time. How can it be balanced? You know, the only way you can watch football all day long is if you already got where you want to go. You know what I mean? So, for example, let's just say your goal is, you know, to become a millionaire, right? But you're not there yet. But yet you want to watch football. Is football going to get you closer to your goal or more away from your goal?
I see.
If it's not going to get you closer to your goal, then you're wasting time. You know, why don't you become a millionaire
And
then earn to watch football all day long?
it's a privilege.
Absolutely.
I see.
Absolutely.
Very cool. And so what else you got in here that's interesting?
Well, you know, obviously, you know, my library, you know, I'm very proud of. They say they say rich people have big libraries and poor people get big TVs. I disagree. You know what I mean? I disagree. I say rich people have both. They just choose to watch less TV. I have the big TV. You know, I don't know what's that, a 75-inch right there in here, and I have the big library. But I tell you right now, that rarely ever comes on.
Oh, yeah?
You know, that's always
And
comes
plus
on.
you got a camera on there, so I'm guessing for
That's a presentation TV as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
So the other thing I want you to see is I want you to kind of zoom in on this check. So
Wow, a $100 million check.
So that's a $100 million check I wrote myself. That's for my 50th birthday, 5/1/23, which is on my 50th birthday. And the significance of that is, you know, I wrote myself a $1 million check years ago, and I put it on my 35th birthday. You know, and
How old were you at that point?
35 years old. When
okay.
I wrote it, I was 30.
You were 30. Okay.
And I wrote it for my 35th birthday. Well, I cashed it before then. But at the time that I wrote it, I'm like, there's no way I can cash a check for $1 million. But I just wrote it anyway, and took a look at it, and I can't believe one day I actually went to the bank and cashed it.
Damn.
Matter of fact, I took a picture of $1 million in a bag because I always want to see what $1 million looks like in a bag. I got to show you that picture. It was just a mental picture that I had, right? So when I'm looking at that picture right now, I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know, man, that's kind of out of my comfort zone.
Huh?
That's out of my league zone, right? It makes me uncomfortable. But then again, I'd rather be uncomfortable. You know, they said I'd rather set a goal high and come up a little bit short than hit it, go short and hit it, right?
True.
So that's my goal by May 1st, 2023 when I'm 50 years old.
But it's interesting since you kind of did this same process before. Wouldn't you say your confidence levels are a little higher now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. My confidence level is a lot higher because if I could achieve that, I know I can achieve that.
And what level were you at when you wrote the first check for the $1 million when you were 30?
Nowhere near it. I was nowhere near it. I was making like $100,000 a year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was like a big bounce for you.
Yeah, it was a big. Yeah, it was big.
Awesome.
It was big. So yeah, man. So that's my goal. You know, and as far as everything else in there, you know.
I like this. You got that. Money never sleeps.
Yeah, money never sleeps. You know, for me, it's like when I'm working here late night, when I'm tired, I look back. I'm like, you know what? I can't be tired because that doesn't sleep. So neither can I.
So you have all of this motivation around you. Is this something you'd recommend for everybody that's watching to surround themselves with, in a sense?
Absolutely. You always, you know, motivation is like taking a bath. It doesn't last.
I like that.
You know, you have to constantly, remind yourself, constantly motivate yourself, constantly be on the grind. You know, figure out ways for you to incentivize and motivate yourself and push yourself.
Nobody else. So it's a daily thing that you got to do.
Especially when you're at the top of the food chain, when you're the boss, when there's nobody above you. What are you gonna do? You know, it's human nature to slack off, right? So you got to be able to self-motivate, you know, and be able to push yourself.
And plus, your team relies on you too. So,
you know, if I don't perform, nobody eats in my organization. So I have to perform.
Interesting perspective. I appreciate it. Awesome. So let's get moving. Let's see what else you got over here.
All right. Let me grab my BCAAs with me. You know, I can't go catabolic here, right?
Yeah, I get you. Stay hydrated.
Yep. So this is the piano room. You know, I have two daughters. Bailey, who's 9, and Haley, that is 5.
God bless her soul.
And yeah, so they play the piano. And I always want to make sure I have a piano here at home where they can play and they can get better. That to me is very significant because when I was growing up, we couldn't afford piano lessons or any kind of lessons like that. So to me, that's a milestone for me to be able to do that. Growing up, I never had a dad. I never had the privilege of, you know, having tutors. I never had the privilege of what my kids are having these days, and for me to be able to provide that for them, it's a means to an end. Because I remember growing up and looking at the kids who had dads, and they were getting this stuff at Christmas. They were getting the bikes and the cool toys for Christmas, and I didn't have a home. Was getting the same toys as everybody else. And I told myself one day, you know, I will be able to provide a good life for my children.
Yeah.
And that to me is very, very fulfilling.
And do you think things like this is sort of like a must for you on a daily basis to be able to deliver?
Absolutely. That's
amazing.
Yeah.
That's really amazing, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate this. So do you play piano?
I don't play the piano.
No. So it's just for your kids?
Yeah, these are for my kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
This whole room just for them?
Pretty much.
Very cool.
Pretty much.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Well, let's get going.
All right.
See what's next. Got a lot to cover.
Yeah, thank you. Well, this is the formal dining room that I've never eaten on.
Yes. Middle Easterns.
Yeah.
That's how we are.
Yeah. So we have this beautiful dining room that I've literally have ate on this table. Never.
You've never touched it?
I've never touched it. I've never sat down on this table and ate. You know, and you know, it's just, I guess, for the looks. I don't know why we even have it, but I guess you're supposed to at least decorate it.
Yes.
You know, I've never, you know, I just usually sit at the bar or, you know, sit on the couch or anything like that. But it looks cool, you know, it has a cool factor, right?
Yeah.
So
it's interesting because like Middle Easterns in general, it's what we do. I personally have like a dining room that we've touched it maybe twice.
Yep.
Lived in the house for 12 years. So now the backyard.
Another backyard. I just bought my girls a couple of bikes.
Cool.
So I was working on them earlier to get them fixed. And this is the backyard. So we got a little barbecue right there, little outdoor, you know, plasma TV. I like this part because it's kind of like Moses part of the Red Sea kind of thing. You have the jacuzzi on that side. Mm-hmm. You have the pool on this side, and it's thick glass going through right there. So
Did you customize all of this for yourself?
Yeah, I customized the whole house.
Okay.
Yeah, everything here has been 100% custom, exactly the way I want it. You know, I bought the house 2 years ago, 2 years before I moved in it. You know, I want to make sure if I'm going to stay here, it has to be exactly the way I want it.
A man with a vision, even to his house.
You have to.
Yes, I like it.
I don't like to be the same as everybody else. I want everything customized to me.
Unique.
Absolutely.
I mean, hey, you know, I got a question for you. So, for somebody that's able to, I guess, do it all, like have no limitations, no ability to not be able to afford something, how do you, what's your next goal? Like, where do you see yourself going in the next 5 to 10 years now, since everything, I guess, materialistically speaking, seems to be doing pretty well?
Well, honestly, you know, you saw the $100 million check, right? If I get that check tomorrow or in a year or two, my life wouldn't change. You know, it's just a goal to have something to strive for. In life, you always want to have a goal, right? I still have a body goal, you know, a percent body fat that I want to get to.
Looking good.
Thank you. You know, I also have a financial goal. I have a relational goal. I have a spiritual goal. I have a goal for all aspects of my life. To me, you know, becoming a 1%er means that you have to have 5 aspects of your life together: faith, family, fitness, finance, and you have to have fun. So I'm always aspiring to better myself in those areas of life.
Every single day.
So, you know, financially, I'm good. You know, after you have your basic necessities are met, what you want out of life. I'm fine with this. $100 million check tomorrow. What is it going to do? Going to get a bigger house? I'm okay with this house. What am I going to do? A better car? I'm okay with the cars that I have. What am I going to do? Now it's time for fulfillment. Now it's time for me to be fulfilled on the inside, be able to contribute, make other people better, where when you don't have your basic necessities are met. 5, 6 years ago, when I was getting eviction notices in my house, when my house was in foreclosure, when I almost lost everything, you know, I couldn't think about fulfillment. I wasn't thinking about giving. I wasn't thinking about doing that. If you would have called me, I'm like, well, what do you mean? I'm going to spend a couple hours with you. I'm like, what am I getting out of this? I couldn't give.
Yes.
But now God has put me in a position that I'm good. You know, my kids are fed, their college accounts are done, you know, my house is paid for. You know, I don't need to, you know, worry about that. Now it's like, okay, what's going to make me happy on the inside? And that's to be able to share my story, be able to inspire people, and be able to help others as well.
So it's interesting you say that. Would you say for someone that's young, is it wrong to want to chase those basic needs or things? Like, you like cars, you like having a nice house. Is it incorrect, or is it like a bad thing to be young and be like, you know what, right now my focus is just to get that house, to get that car?
Hell no. That's absolutely the right thing to do. You have to do that. You have to do that. You know, for me, it's, you know, my DNA has always been, look, when I first went to college, when I first graduated high school, before I went to college, I applied at an auto parts store, right? And when I went to the auto parts store, the manager said, hey, why do you want to work here? What is your hobby? I said, my hobbies are working out, cars, and girls, you know, and not in that order, you know. and this is my DNA. This is what I like. I like cars. I like to have a nice home. So for me, not to pursue that is going against what God has put in me, right? So a lot of people are kind of like, oh no, I can't buy this, I can't buy that, I can't buy this, I don't want to do this. No. You have to go after and get what you want out of life. That's achievement. That's what you want to do. But once you get there, then you're like, okay, now what's next? I was me. I always wanted the car that I have now. I always wanted a home like this. I got it now. I'm fulfilled. Now I can go. But if you don't fulfill that part of you,
you'll never be able to give back.
Yes. You have to be personally fulfilled. I'm fulfilled now.
Very nice.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, so move on. Let's see what's next.
So this is like, you know, the living room, the kitchen, the game room is over there.
You play pool?
Yeah, I play pool. I'm not good at it, but I play pool. I used to be better at it back in the day when I went and played more. But so, you know, we get together, you know, watch some games once in a while. We do watch the games and play pool and play chess. My girls like to play chess. They actually beat me at chess.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't played chess in a while.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. Do you partake into hobbies that require focus and mental clarity?
You know, not necessarily for that reason. You know, I like hobbies that push me and make me uncomfortable. For me, being uncomfortable is all about. You gotta always learn to be uncomfortable. Over the years, I've grinded so hard that for me, sitting on the couch is uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Now, when I'm comfortable, I'm uncomfortable. Does that make sense? Because I was always been in such a fight or flight all the time. I always have to grind.
You got comfortable with that.
Yeah, I got that's my comfort.
No.
So when I'm not grinding, I'm not comfortable. When I'm just relaxing, I'm like, should I be doing something? Gosh, man, get up. If I get up, I like, if I sleep in one day, I get up at 7 o'clock. I'm like, dude, seriously? The sun is up before you? What's wrong with you? Get up and do something. You're such a loser, Sam. But that's how I'll program myself. Not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It got me to where I want to do. Now I have to learn to be able to relax every once in a while and sleeping with the wife, make her happy, and be able to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Interesting. How do you balance that self-talk and not allow it to put you in a bad mood or a depressive mood? For, a high performer like you, if you wake up late, as you said, 7 a.m. is not even late, but for you, it's late. The sun's up. Have you ever had moments where you're like, man, this sucks, and it actually depresses you? Or if that hasn't happened, what would you recommend for people who are always so hard on themselves? How can they balance the ability to actually take action properly and not have their self-talk put them down?
Most people are not hard enough on themselves.
Okay.
Right? Most people put a plan together and they stick to the plan 2 or 3 days and then they fall off. Look, put a plan together and tell yourself, okay, if I stick to this plan for X amount of time, then I'm going to earn a day off, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay in my pajamas all weekend because of this X, Y, and Z. I'm going to give you an example. This kid, for months has been asking to hang out with me, right? And I told him, okay, fine. If you want to hang out with me, I'll work out at 4 a.m. So a couple of times he came in at 4 a.m. He starts working out with me. Then last time said he was going to be today at the gym at 4 a.m. I didn't tell him to come at 4 a.m. He said he was going to be there. And while he was working out with me yesterday, he said, you know what? I made this plan. So I'm going to be at the gym at 4 a.m. And here's what I'm going to do. And from this time to this time, I'm going to dedicate it this. From this time, he sat down and strategized a whole freaking plan, right? This morning, he sends me a text at 4:30 in the morning. I'm already half done with my workout. Oh, sorry, Sam. I won't make it today. Is it okay for me to work out with you tomorrow? It's actually not okay with you to work out with me tomorrow. I said, no matter what, I'm going to work out anyway, whether you're here or not. Here's what the thing is. You made a plan. You said you want to do good. You said you're hungry. You said you're an entrepreneur. But yet, after 2 days, you didn't show up at 4 a.m. And not only that, 30 minutes after you were supposed to show up, you text me, you said you're not going to be here. That tells me that you're somebody I don't want to hang around with.
Why do you think that happens?
People self-sabotage. It's easy to sit down and make a plan. It's hard to execute. It's hard to execute every single day, every single hour. Well, Sam, you look great, man. How are you staying in such a shape? Fuck.
I work out every day.
For the past 25 years, I showed up. Some days I can bench 300 pounds. Some days I can only do 135 pounds. But I show up and I'll do the work anyway. Most people put a plan together, but when it comes time to execute, it's not sexy. It's not sexy to do it day in, day out, day in, day out. And that's the difference between the 99% and that's the difference 1%. Everybody can put a plan together.
Who's willing to put in the work?
Who's willing to show up when they don't feel like it? I had the same talk with another person the other day. I said, hey, what happened? You were supposed to get this done. Oh, well, my New York, I got in late from New York and this is what happened. I'm like, it literally took you 1 minute to do it. Does that make sense? You have to execute. You have to be able to do that. Execution is not sexy. Planning is sexy.
I see.
Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Here's what we're going to do. Here's how I'm going to do it. But actually coming down to day, every single day, grind to do the same thing is not sexy. If you read the book, The Compound Effect, it will tell you little things done correctly over time will give you big results, right?
Yes.
Little things done incorrectly over time will give you disaster, right? Nobody wants to do the day-to-day grind. Everybody wants my shine. Nobody wants my grind. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what about somebody that grew up in a society that's super negative, daunting on him or her, always putting them down, and they get to a point where now they want to do something they love, but their self-talk in here is always saying, you suck, you're not good enough, you can't do it. Any tactics on how to break through that?
The best way for you to build self-esteem is to set small goals and achieve them, no matter what it is. Every time you set a goal, every time you tell yourself you're going to do something and you don't follow through and you don't achieve it, you actually shot your self-esteem in the foot. you actually destroy your self-esteem. And every time you achieve something, I don't care how little it is, now you're telling yourself, oh my God, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. So with a lot of people, it's like little baby steps, right? Little baby steps. Let me achieve a small goal so I get to the next goal, and all that kind of stuff. So the promise that you make to yourself, keep, no matter what, and achieve it. You know, no matter how small it is, and build your self-esteem that way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I dig that. All right, moving on. See
All
what's
right.
next. Cool. What a beautiful kitchen here.
Thank you. Now let's go check out the, oh yeah, I got to show you for leg day. I have an elevator.
So you don't have to go up and down the stairs.
So leg day, man, you know, like I don't feel like going up there, so I just take an elevator up. That's a lazy way.
All right, next room.
All right, so let me introduce you to the laundry room, and let me tell you why the laundry room. Well, if you know me, I told you how important time is. For me, I have everything in life except time. Time is the most precious commodity. And it's my pet peeve when you have to wait to do laundry, because you can't do whites and darks together. So you have to put the whites first and then take the whites out and then put the darks. That takes twice the amount of time. So I'm like, why not have 2 washers and 2 dryers and just get it in half the time? Even though these days I don't do laundry. We have somebody who does everything. But to me, just I have to save time. I'm all about efficiency.
How does it feel to be able to do all of this at this point, especially coming from a very, I know you didn't really have this growing up, did you? So at this stage in your life, how do you feel every day waking up, being able to actually accommodate to everything in your life?
I mean, it feels wonderful. It feels great. But what feels even more is understanding how valuable time is. I mean, there are people who are a lot wealthier than me when it comes to finances, but they don't understand this. You know, I have my my very good friend. He has an MBA in finance from University of Chicago. I mean, the guy is a genius when it comes to money, but he doesn't understand delegation. So he tries to save, you know, a few bucks by washing his own car or doing his own lawn. The guy, and I asked him, hey, Roger, so how much you make an hour? He said, I make about $500 an hour. I said, all right, well, how much do you pay somebody to wash your car? He'll pay somebody $20. Well, it'll take you an hour to wash your car. So technically you lost $500 if you were just working at that time. Or you can delegate it for like $25 or $30. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, wow. So for me, that time management and be able to delegate things correctly and be able to maximize your time and maximize the way you spend your time is what life is all about.
How does someone master delegation when they don't have the funds to be able to do so?
You know, it's not about having funds, it's having resources. You know, Tony Robbins says it's not about resources, it's about resourcefulness. You know, if you know people, you can always find a way to be able to do it. And if you can, then figure out how you can maximize your efficiency. If you look at your day, you're going to always find ways to be able to hack things and get things done faster and more efficiently.
Very cool. Awesome. So what's next?
Well, this is one of the
favorite
garages.
part?
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, I'm a big car fan.
That's a beautiful bad boy.
Yeah, so this is the Dodge Demon, the fastest quarter-mile car in the world. And,
How fast does this thing go?
I don't know exactly how fast it goes. I think it's like over 200 miles an hour. But it supposedly does quarter mile in like 9.8 seconds or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And they have pictures of this, and when you punch it, the front end actually comes off the ground.
Holy crud.
Yeah.
How often do you drive this?
You know, I drive it probably like once a week or so.
Okay.
You know, just to keep it going. You know, like I was telling you earlier, you know, as I get older, I just like the same old stuff.
Yeah.
I like to wear the same thing. You know, I like to drive the same car. And to me, these are just fun toys to have and play around with because I'm a car fan. By driving them, you know, every day, I'm like, you know, one thing I hate is getting a different car. And then I'm like, oh my God, I left my wallet in the other car. Like, you know what I mean? Because like these are the things that I'm like, oh my God, did I forget this car has the insurance card in it in case I get pulled over and all that kind of stuff. These are things that you don't think about sometimes, you know, and we were talking about having decision fatigue. I don't want to have a decision fatigue. I want to just do that. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, let me drive this car.
I like to be as simple as possible.
Yes, yeah.
What's your process in making decisions faster? It's kind of a topic we had recently on our channel. We were talking about ways that somebody can actually decide on either type 1 or type 2 decisions a lot faster. So what's your opinion, or I would say your take on how to make decisions at a faster pace?
Well, to me, decisions really come down to what you want to get out of life. What are your goals, right? You have to be crystal clear of what you want out of life and what your goals are, what your core values are, right? So say, for example, your goal is to be a millionaire. Mm-hmm. Let's just say that's one of your goals. Then, decision comes that, hey, do I purchase this or not purchase this? Or do I go to this event or not go to this event? Will that get you closer to your goal or more away from your goal? If you're crystal clear exactly what you want, where you're going, because the fastest way between 2 points is a straight line. Anything that's here is taking you away from your goal. You know what that straight line is. So that decision making should be very easy. When you know that, when you're crystal clear. Believe it or not, I had to go through that a few years ago to get me to where I want right now. And I had to come to Jesus meeting with myself, when I was in a dark place in my life, mm-hmm. and say, what do I want to get out of life? What do I want to do now? And once I was crystal clear of exactly what I wanted my life to be like, that's when the decision making became easy. That's when I really, really, kind of hacked my success.
What about those bigger decisions like in business, like risk-taking decisions where you have to, for example, maybe drop or invest a lot of money into something? Or how do you approach that?
So when there's a big decision like that, when it comes to business, you always have to look, okay, what are the pros and what are the cons? What are the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario? And in life, if you're in a place to take a risk, then take a calculated risk. Do some research. And if you think that's going to help you in your business, then take the risk. Without risk, there's no reward. But as long as it's a calculated, not a reckless risk, right? I'm gonna tell you a reckless risk. There's somebody that I know, right? And he's been working really, really, really hard. He was basically homeless. Mm-hmm. Give him an opportunity. He started working every single day. He started making money. But he started making money. As soon as he started making money, then he comes back and goes, Sam, I'm broke. I'm like, what'd you do your money with your money? Oh, I got a ticket to go to a seminar. Well, is that a great decision or is that a bad decision? It depends. If you don't have a roof over your head, I would say that's probably a bad decision. Yeah. You probably start needing a roof over your head first. You don't have to live in your car to go to a seminar. You know what I mean? Because he's done enough of these seminars. Now it's time to fucking implement. Yeah. Right? There was a guy I talked to yesterday. He was kind of lost in life and he wanted to talk about what he wanted to do. I said, I bet you here's what you're doing. You're going to every seminar. You're buying every course. You're doing all these things. But now you're not implementing.
A lot of those people exist.
Yeah. They go to every seminar to buy every course, but they don't implement any of it. I used to be one of them. I went through the same thing. I bought every course. Every weekend I was in some kind of a seminar because I thought that was going to catalyze my success. There's a part that, the rubber needs to meet the road, right? And the time when I decided, I have enough knowledge. I just need to sit down and apply, right? I unsubscribed from everybody's list. I stopped going to all the seminars. And for the next 3 or 4 years, I sat down and just grinded. And that's when I became successful.
Yeah, you have to, obviously, what you learn, you have to take action, or else it's useless.
Yep.
Sweet. So what's next?
All right. So I'm not a big fan of Range Rover. This is the wifey's car. And when we went to the Range Rover dealership, I'm like, wait a second. This is actually pretty cool because this has the 580 horsepower engine. And it has like a little nice exhaust sound to it. And check out the interior. I love the interior on this car.
You had it all tinted up, I've noticed.
Oh, yeah. I'm a.
Oh, nice. Yes. Very cool.
So the interior of this is pretty cool. So when I saw this, I'm like, all right, I guess I can be cool with this one. But I'm not a big Range Rover fan, but this one was pretty cool.
Why not? Well, what do you not like about them?
I didn't think they were fast, and then I've heard a lot of horror stories about them breaking down.
Oh, yeah?
As far as reliability is concerned. But this had the matte white, so it's pretty cool.
Cars are a beauty. I personally love cars.
So this is 3 of my cars, and I have a few more that are not here.
The Performante.
This is the Performante.
Yes.
This is a Lambo. I was always been a huge fan of Lambo ever since a movie called Cannonball Run. You're probably too young to know what Cannonball Run is, but
never heard.
If you ever get a chance, go watch it. It's an old movie with Roger Moore, a bunch of like celebrities back in the 80s. and Cannonball Run was a race across the United States from New York to California, and all these cars got in together and raced, and there was all these characters, but there was two hot chicks in the Lamborghini, and that was like I was like, man, when I grow up older, I was like a teenager, I'm like, I gotta get me a Lamborghini, so this was it.
Well, did you ever actually believe you're going to own one?
I always wanted one. I didn't know if it was going to happen or not, but it's
Were
always
you
been my
okay
vision.
with it not happening? I'm kind of curious. So, like, when you started your hustle and opened your company and started really implementing and taking action, were you okay with potentially failing?
I'm never okay with failing. I'm okay with failing forward.
Explain.
Failing is when you fail and you stand down. Okay? Failing is, you never really fail. I mean, think about it. I think Grant talked about this, right? Grant talked about it. I saw it was one of his videos, and it's so true, right? He said, look, in baseball, you get 3 swings and you're out. In life, you get unlimited swings, right? So you just hit, you just go after it. All you need to do is hit 1 home run. You get 1,000,000 tries. The only time you fail is when you don't swing at the ball. In life, you're going to fall. You're going to fail. What are you going to do? You're going to be like, oh my God, I failed. I had the same conversation with my cousin the other day. So my cousin comes from the same background as I do. We grew up in the same low, blue collar, very low to middle income neighborhood in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. So I told him he works for my warehouse. And I said, look, I need you to figure out something else to do too as well. I need you to get a skill. He goes, okay, I'm going to apply for my real estate. So I bought him a real estate course. I said, all right, so when are you going to take the real estate exam? Oh man, I don't know. I don't want to rush this. I don't want to fail. I'm like, well, tell me when you're going to take the real estate exam. He goes, well, I don't know. It depends on when I'm ready. I'm like, you're never going to be ready. He goes, well, I don't know. What do you mean? I go, let me put it in football terms because he likes to watch football. Okay. I said, imagine your favorite team is playing the Patriots. His favorite team is the Browns. I don't know why he likes the Browns. Well, and imagine the Browns are playing the Patriots. They know they're going to play the Patriots, and they have a date set with the Patriots. It's not when they feel they're ready for the Patriots. It's at December 18th, they're going to play the Patriots. It's going to happen. When is that day going to happen? Because you can fail. You can take 5 years and fail. I'd rather you take the test 3 or 4 times and fail and then pass than wait. There's never going to be the right time for you to take the fucking test. So he goes, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in life, you have to do the same thing. Be prepared to fail. Be prepared to fail. Every time you fail, it's actually telling you you're getting closer to your home
success.
run. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's bottom line.
I like that. So you got your Lambo, your Corvette.
Yeah. This is
488.
And that's a 488. Yep.
You keep your cars clean, man.
You saw the house, right?
Yeah.
I'm like a very, very anal about everything being clean. I want my house. Last thing I want to do after a long day is to come to a messy house.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's the last thing I want to do. And because I don't want to fight with the wife, because if I come home and the house is a mess, you're like, you know what, man, gosh, girl, what are you doing? I don't want to take that road, right? So I'm like, I'm going to hire somebody. I'm going to have the house clean every day, every single day. So when I come, this is my sanctuary. When I leave here, I put on my shield, my armor. I'm ready for a war. But when I come here, my shield is on. I'm ready to just chill.
You want to make sure it's like a relaxing place for you.
To me, I want my house to be like Neiman Marcus.
How does it feel having all these toys, everything you want? Like we were talking about before, just right recently, how like you're in a position now where you want to help and provide value. Was that something? I mean, did you ever assume you'd ever get to this point in life?
No. I mean, this is a feeling that's actually come over me recently. Again, most of my life, I've been broke. Most of my life, I was in fight or flight. Most of my life, I'm like, how can I feed the kids? What am I going to do? Will I be able to keep my house? Am I going to go bankrupt? And most of my life has been that turmoil. And I always been working, always 15, 16-hour days to try to just make ends meet and try to get to my goal. And when you're in a fight or flight response, and when you're always, oh my God, I got to figure out what I have to do, there's no way that you can feel like you want to give
Yeah.
Because you can't save somebody from drowning if you can't swim. I want you to understand that. A lot of people always, let me help this people. How can you help people if your basic necessities are not met?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So once your basic necessities are met, and my basic necessities are more than met, right? Then you'll be like, okay, like I said, what's next? What's going to make my heart happy? What do I want to do? How do I want to do? If I die tomorrow, what do I want to be? People say about me, you know, and that's where, you know, the fulfillment comes. But fulfillment is hard to do when you're not fulfilled, when your basic necessity, when you can barely, you know, keep your head above water.
Awesome. Would you recommend somebody who's starting a business or as a startup entrepreneur to have like a financial goal in life?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Everybody has to have a number.
Yeah.
And that number changes. Remember, my number was the 1 million.
Yeah. Now
You
it's
know?
100.
Now it's 100. And I don't know, when you see people working out, when I was working out, you know, for me, my goal was, oh my God, I want to get to 2 plates on the bench, right? So then one day when I came into 2 plates on the bench, I'm like, oh, that's cool. What if I could get 2.5? Get 2.5. And so, what about 3? You know what I mean? So your context changes all the time. You know what I mean? And right now, like I said, you know, if I do, you know, my goal was to make $1 million, right? And now, you know, if I make $1 million in a year, it's a bad fucking year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So your context changes, you know. I mean, and Chris Rock talked about it one time in one of his stand-up comedy. It's very profound. He goes, if Bill Gates woke up one day and looked at his bank account and saw Oprah's bank account by mistake, he would kill himself. You know what I mean? Because he goes, look, what happened? Because, you know, he was like, what the hell, right?
Yeah.
So your context always changes, and things as you grow, it changes.
So when you set that $1 million goal, why didn't you do 10 or 50 or 100 or what was the reason for like just something significant about that number, or did you just not really understand anything more than that?
For me, as I was growing up, always, you know, I don't know if your parents always say, "Oh, he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire. He's a millionaire. Oh, millionaire, millionaire, millionaire." So to me, that was okay. A millionaire was $1 million. So I wanted to say, "Oh, I'm a millionaire." You know, and once I achieved that, I'm like, wow, I literally achieved that. I mean, like I told you, I put all the money in the bag, took a picture of it. Hey, I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the defining moment.
How did that feel when you had that bag of cash?
You know, it's funny. It's not that much cash actually. You know,
Really?
when it's all densed up in a thing, you figure, oh, millionaire's gonna fill this whole room up. It's not really that much. You know what I mean? Like you can put it in a duffel bag. Yeah. It fits in a duffel bag. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, you know, this is cool. You know,
Someone's lifetime earnings. Yeah.
and it's funny because, you know, I didn't know the banks can't give you $1 million cash at one time. So I went to the bank and I, you know, put a check and said, here's $1 million. And I'm like, well, we can't give you that. I'm like, what do you mean? It's my money. You know, you get $1 million and give me the cash. They're like, well, we can't give you that. We can maybe give you it on $100,000 increments. I'm like, what do you mean?
They don't have it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they can get it, but they can't even give it out at one time.
Yeah.
Right. So I had to go back 10 times,
Just to get that
$100,000
money.
thing, and they had me sign a waiver. That signed a waiver. Hey, if you get robbed or killed or like that, we're not responsible. You know what I mean? Yeah, they actually had to sign a
That's
waiver.
hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Well, let's move forward.
Awesome.
Let's see what's next.
All right, so let's go upstairs. Let me show you like the master bedroom and where the magic really happens, which is not the master bedroom.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so this is like a little extra room. I made it into a shoe closet. So
You like shoes?
I used to like collecting shoes. You know, like I said, I wear the same shoes pretty much all the time. You know what I mean? Like today, just for this interview, I just put some new shoes
Those
on.
are nice. Those are clean.
Thank you.
Very nice.
I put these on for you because I had an interview today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
But I normally just wear the same Nikes or, you know, so some Adidas, something like that. And usually they're all black, you know, as I color. And some of these, like, if you look, some of these I haven't really worn.
What's the biggest shopping spree you've been on? Just out of curiosity. Like, have you ever had a time where you're like, you know what? I earned this. I'm going to go crazy.
Like in one day?
Yeah.
I think
Has that ever happened?
I think I dropped about $100,000 one day.
100 grand?
Yeah. Yeah. South Coast Plaza.
The one place.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Those are nice kicks. I like those.
Yeah, man. These are like some of the Jordans, and you know, then I have the, you know, Christians over there, and some of the Gucci's and all that kind of stuff there. But honestly, when I'm looking at it, I'm just looking at it right now. I'm like, that was a phase, right?
Yeah.
That was a phase. I'm like, wow, I really wear like 1 or 2 shoes. You know, I guess when you make it, You always say, oh, when I make it, I'm going to get all these shoes. I'm going to do something, this and that. And when you get there, you're like,
Okay, that wasn't
okay,
really.
that's cool. But I really, you know how you have that favorite shirt, that favorite jean.
And you
kinda,
finally get it.
You know what I mean? And you might have 10 other ones or whatever it is, but you kind of like to wear the same thing.
Yeah, yes.
So
yes.
it's so weird when you get older and when you get to a certain level, you still don't even care. That's why I see some of the billionaires you see, you know, like,
They wear whatever stuff.
yeah, they're like, he's a billionaire? Really?
Yeah.
Now I see it. Back in the day, I couldn't imagine it. I'm like, what are you a billionaire? What do you mean you drive a pickup truck?
Yeah, it's because you had so much on your radar that you have yet to get. So it's kind of like, as we said, fulfilling that
Yeah.
DNA.
But now that I'm like, okay, I achieved this goal. I did this. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Now it's about fulfillment.
Do you recommend people? I mean, I guess we already talked about this, but like, should they go after all of this? Like, if they wanted to in the beginning, just to get it out of the way?
You have to. You have to kind of do it. Is it the smart thing to do? No. But does everything you have to do, does it have to fit the smart thing? No. You have to be able to like say, hey, I did this. This is one of my goals. I did it. Hey, if one of your goals was to have 200 pairs of shoes, by all means, go fucking do it. Check it off your list and then go do the smart thing. There is no right way or wrong way to do things. It's what makes your heart happy, what you want in life, and get it out of the way. Don't listen to this person. Oh, look, Dave Ramsey is amazing. Dave Ramsey is, if you want to make wealth, then that's how you got to go. You got to go with Dave Ramsey. Okay, you just spend this much on this and this much on budget, this and budget. By all means, I think if you can stick to that, that's the best. It's not my way of doing it, because then I won't be fulfilled. Now, then I would have came in, I'm like, gosh, man, I still want to do this. I still want to do this. I tried it. For people who know me, know that when I almost lost everything, I got jaded. So for about 4 years, I drove around in a company car. I didn't even own a car. I drove around in a Scion XB. Right? I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to spend any money. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to drive a Scion XB. But literally, I felt like somebody cut my balls off. I felt like I wasn't living to what I wanted to do. You know, every time I see a nice car, I'm like, oh my God, look, see that car. Even if I could afford it, I wouldn't do it. Right? But I'm like, you know what? Do I want to live like this? I don't want to live like that. I want to look at my garage and be like, that's my car. Oh, look at this. I want to be proud of what I'm doing, all my hard work. Right? So
you got everything to fulfill yourself so that you can focus on the bigger agenda.
Now I don't care about it.
Yeah.
I got what I want out of life. I'm good.
That's amazing.
I own a Porsche. I own a Lamborghini. I own a Ferrari. You know, I own a couple of muscle cars. You know, and I got everything. Now okay. I achieved it. Next. And next is now fulfillment.
Any regrets?
No regrets. Absolutely none. Because you know what? I didn't spend my college fund for the kids. The kids' college funds are fully funded. Those little girls, they're good to go if they wanted to use that money for college. They're good. Now, if you're spending that money and all of a sudden your kids can't eat, and all of a sudden you took away from the family and their future, and that's when you feel bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I have a game plan. You know, as soon as they were born, I put money away for them automatically every month. You know, so the only regret is, oh my God, man, if I would have spent their college fund or if they're, no, I didn't.
That's awesome. That's amazing, my man.
All right.
What's next?
Master bedroom.
Let's go.
So this is the master bedroom.
All right.
This is where some of the magic happens, but I'm going to show you where the big magic happens. You know, and for me, this has been like a bed inspiration that I saw in a model home. I saw one of the model homes in Newport Beach, and I was like, look, send it to my designer. I'm like, make me one like this. So this is cool because.
What is this? So is this like a extra bed or?
This is like a sectional where like kids can hang out here while we can lay there and we kind of hang out, watch TV and do things and all that kind of stuff. So that's that. And then obviously I love the view. You have the view of the golf course, the mountains, and the city. So you have 3 great views here.
This is something else. Waking up to this every day.
Yeah, you look at the snow in the mountain. Mm-hmm. So it's awesome.
It's pretty secluded. Do you like kind of being away from?
Yeah, for me, you know, I always been like my home. I want it to be away from everything. I like to be able to go to the party if I want to, go to the madness if I want to, but I don't want to live in the madness.
I see. Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
I have a home in Vegas that's also secluded.
Oh yeah.
So I can look at Vegas. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I can go there if I want to, but I don't want to be in there right now.
Now, would you say because your lifestyle is already kind of in the fast lane that your home needs to be a little bit more relaxed?
Yeah, my home is my sanctuary.
Yeah.
You know, my home is where I come in to just detach and get away from everything. Because like I said, that to me is, you know, the proving grounds. That to me is where I have my sword, my shield, my gun. I'm ready to fight. Here is when I recuperate so I can go out there and be able to do that. And I always told, you know, my wife the same thing. I said, babe, I can handle whatever is thrown at me because I'm ready to fight out there. I'm here. I don't have my shield on, so I don't want to fight at home.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that this is where we come in to rest and relax and love each other and do that. We don't fight.
Nice. Very cool. What's your definition on a work-life balance from your perspective?
There is no balance in life. And I think balance is a myth. Balance is something that's earned, not given. You know, I mean, a lot of people talk about balance. Oh, let me balance this and balance that. Until you have earned that balance, how can you be balanced? Let's just say, one of your goals is to be able to make sure that your kids have enough money to go to college. But as of right now, they don't. Well, how can it be balanced? How can you waste time? You know, let's say your goal is to become a millionaire so you can be able to give to your children, your family, and be able to be financially secure. But you're not a millionaire. But yet you want to watch TV all day long. You can't do that. You can't be balanced. For you to be able to watch TV, you have to earn that by making sure that you be able to do that. You can't have conflicting goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't have 5 different goals that conflict with each other. You know what I mean? Some days, I'm a great father. Some days, I'm a horrible father. Some days, I'm a great husband. Some days, I'm a horrible husband. Like yesterday, I was a horrible husband. You know why? Because I worked all day. Then I went to yoga at night. Then I went to get my massage at night. My wife was like, are you going to spend any time with me? And it's not like I was being selfish. It's because I had to make sure I kind of de-stress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then another day, what I would do, I would take a whole day off.
Just
Like,
stay with her.
Baby, I'm just going to stay home with you. Let's go out. Let's hang out, just me and you. So you have to be able to get it balanced that way if you can. You know what I mean? You can't possibly be everything to everybody every single day.
You just have to accept that.
You have to accept that. And you have to make sure the people around you accept that. You have to make sure you have the same goal, same vision, and be able to portray why you're doing it. You know, you have to be able to communicate why you're doing it. You know, I heard Lou Holtz, you know, the great Notre Dame coach, talk about, you know, his wife one time, you know, saying, hey, I want you to stay home with me. I want to stay home with me and all that kind of stuff. And he said all throughout his years of coaching, he never disciplined anybody. He never argued anybody. He just let them know, hey, there's for every action, there's consequences and things and adjustments that need to be made. For example, you know, he took his wife to a rough neighborhood. He says, hey, babe, look, I don't mind staying home with you all day long, all the time, all 24 hours. But then we have to make some adjustments to our lifestyle. We're going to have to move in this neighborhood. If you're okay with that, let me know. I'm okay with that. Well, I can make the adjustment for you. His wife said next day, you know, go to work. You know what I mean? You know, there's some adjustments that need to be made, you know, and with my kids, I can't be mad at them. I'm like, hey, look, here's the thing. If you decided to do this, then here's what's going to happen. There's no reason for argument or like that. There's a cause and effect in everything, you know, and as long as we are aware of it ahead of time, then we can make the proper decision what you want to do.
I like that. I very much so. All right, so.
All right, you want to see the closet?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Got a little bed for your dog.
Yeah,
too.
my little protection dog. So this is like a little closet. There's a bunch of suits that I don't wear.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I like to have nice stuff to wear if I wear out, but I'm usually in gym clothes.
It's your daily attire like this?
Yeah, pretty much. Not even this. This is dressed up. Like I said, I'm dressed up for you.
Yeah. Very nice,
Yeah.
man. This is cool.
Yeah, this is it.
Was this something you kind of wanted growing up? Like just a bunch of clothes, a bunch of like, is this something you thought of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that was like, it was like part of like a closet that looks like Neiman Marcus. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get you. You know, it's interesting because this is something else. You know, from your perspective now that you like, now that you have it all, let's get back into the whole wanting to help people. What's one big goal in your head right now that you want to accomplish at this stage in life?
I want to help people. I want to really help people be financially free. I want to help people elevate their life. I mean, look, man, never in my life did I think that, from a kid that came to America with a single mom, $500 on the luggage, and, live in, like I said, the projects. We got food stamps. Even my mom would kill me if she heard this, because she never would admit to that. You know what I mean? And, being like without a dad, living in Sharon, Pennsylvania, which is, the average income to this day there, I think the household income is like $30,000 a year.
Wow.
To be able to have, what I have now, I want to be able to say it's possible. It's possible, but you have to be focused. You have to have the right direction. You have to have the right focus. You have to have the right mentors and be able to elevate yourself. You can't just say one thing and do another. You know what I mean? That's my pet peeve. That's why I told the guy this morning, like I was telling you, I'm like, dude, you said you're going to be there at 4 o'clock, not me. How can you not follow through with your plan?
Yeah.
And he apologized. He goes, thank you for calling me out. I said, I'm here to call you out on your bullshit. You know what I mean? And if somebody's bullshitting me, I'm going to call you out.
Straightforward.
Yeah, straightforward.
I like that.
I thought it would be really cool if I act like I'm a drinker, have some champagne, Cristal bottles and stuff like that. I thought I'll fill this up with some nice wines and some Cristals and all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm like, you know what? Water is pretty much what I drink. So, yeah.
You seemed like you were very much a dreamer when you were younger.
Yeah. I'm still a dreamer, but I've achieved what I wanted. I mean, I've achieved all my dreams. And like I told you, $100 million tomorrow will not change a thing for me. Maybe I'll get a beach house. Maybe I get a nice beach house online, but nothing will change.
What about impact? So, materialistically speaking, it's been accomplished. It's there. You have it all. So, what about, aiming for that bigger number of money to have a bigger impact in society?
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that will help me do, because it's all about fulfillment now. For me, my favorite quote of all time, which I never understood until recently, was, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. By Tony Robbins. So imagine, you're successful, you have all these things, but you never impacted anybody. You never helped anybody along the way. And now I realize, man, wow, if that's an empty place to be. You have all the material things, you have all the success, but you really never really helped about anybody, or you're not even thinking about that. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. Now, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Buy more expensive watches? I don't even wear this. I just wore this for this interview. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I have a watch collection that I never wear, man. I just give all my time to my iPhone. You know what I mean? It's so weird. You know what I mean? It's like, but you have to get there to say, hey, I got here, I've done it.
What's next?
What's next? And the next is more material things? No. What is next? People, fulfillment, serving,
impact.
Impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. So let me tell you my favorite part of the house, where the big magic happens, and it's on the 3rd level.
Oh.
And voila.
Gym.
I'm in a business, so.
Dude, this is awesome. So you got everything you want in this house. You don't have to even leave.
Yeah, this is, I can just work out here. I don't, do whatever I want here. It just has a killer stereo sound. Got a subwoofer in the on the wall. So I'm jamming here, working out. All of these have actually they're hooked up to the internet. I can check emails, work out, and just do everything from here.
Wow, this is very cool.
Thanks.
And you work out every single day?
I work out every single day. And do I work out hard every single day? No. Workout doesn't necessarily mean go in the gym and kill yourself. Workout is just movement.
Yeah, just get things going.
I mean, think about it. Back in the day, when you wanted to eat, what did you have to do? A couple hundred years ago.
You have to go out, hunt.
Which means what? You have to exercise.
Yeah.
You have to go chase it, right? So you have to move every day. So for me, exercising in gym is all about just movement. You have to be active, When some people say, how many days should I work out, Sam? I'm like, well, how many days does your heart beat? Every day, okay. How many days do you go to the bathroom? You know what I mean? Every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just because, that doesn't mean you're going to go kill yourself and lift all these heavy weights and all that. It's not about that. It's just about having a place and time to keep everything consistent. Remember, I told you it's all about consistency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can, decision fatigue comes in. Okay, is it today's the day off, or is it like, no? Just go.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Do you accept? So this kind of goes back to being hard on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I deal with things where like sometimes I go to the gym, I'm like, this workout sucked. Like I want it to be harder, I want it to be better. You seem to have accepted the fact that, sometimes I won't be the best, and that's okay. How were you able to cross that boundary or cross that barrier, mentally speaking, where it's like, I'm trying my best every single day, and if the day happens where I can't do my best, then that's totally fine.
Well, to me, the best is not the best at any time. To me, the best is longevity. It's not who can be better that day. It's who can be better over time. Right? Anybody can be good one day, 2 days, 1 week, or achieve something. Can you achieve it and maintain it the entire time? And that to me is that, right now there's that popular challenge, right? Everybody posted a 10-year challenge.
10-year challenge.
10-year challenge. I'm not interested in a 10-year challenge. I posted my 20-year challenge. I posted myself at when I was 25 and when I'm 45. And then next year, I'm going to do the 30-year. In 10 years, I'm going to do the 30-year challenge and the 40-year challenge. Okay? It's okay. Anybody can maintain a certain amount of, but can you maintain a certain level of performance over a lifetime?
Looking at the bigger picture.
I'm not interested in short-term things. The other day, somebody says, one of your employees, he's killing it this week. Not good. I'm not impressed. Kill it for a year and we'll talk. Anybody can kill it for any amount of time. Anybody can kill one workout or 1 month of workout or 2 months of workout. But can you kill it all the time?
Dude, I'm speechless. That's awesome. This is a really cool gym.
Yeah.
Very nice. Early bird gets the Lambo.
Yeah.
You surround yourself with these posters all over the place, huh?
You have to, man. You have to always look for inspiration. You always have to figure out a way to motivate yourself. And I put that in there because I get up in the morning early. I work out at 4 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 3. So when I'm here working out early in the morning, I'm looking at that. I'm like, okay, Sam, you wanted a Lambo, so this is the price that you have to pay. You have to get up in the morning. You have to grind. You have to do it. So when somebody says, yeah, I want a Lamborghini, are you willing to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and work till 10 o'clock at night for 4 years, 5 years straight, like I did? When I first started my business, I worked from 3 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and work till 10 o'clock at night for 4 years straight, Monday through Sunday.
Wow. Non-stop.
Non-stop.
Jesus. So, talking about early bird, I actually got this question personally myself a couple of days ago where does waking up early genuinely mean success? Because I've personally heard of somebody that has done a business literally working from, just at night. He was a night owl. He built a $100 million business just at night, and he wakes up at 4 p.m. So what's the mentality of waking up early? Why do you do it? And is it actually something that helps you succeed in the world of business?
Okay, so basically you're asking me, is waking up early contributes to being more successful?
Is it an actual thing to contribute to success?
If you actually look at it throughout history, people who wake up earlier are more successful than people who wake up later. It just gives you some extra hour in the time. So the gentleman you're referring to that built a $100 million business a night, what he has done is he's reversed it. So it's really not about the morning or the evening. It's about how can you squeeze in more productive hours during the day. That's really what it really comes down to. But it happens to be most people in the world that
do it
early in the mornings have that. Like for me, I know that, I have work that I have to be at, then I have children after that. So what can I do to be able to maximize my time and my efficiency? Remember, we all get the same 24 hours a day. Who can be the most productive over a period of time that's going to give you the most amount of results? If you look at the average person watching TV 4 to 5 hours a day and being on social media 2 to 3 hours a day, imagine if you compounded that over a lifetime, how many days they will come, or how many years they'll come up short. I think I actually did the calculation one time. It was like 11 years of wasted time.
Jesus.
About just you being entertained for nonsense.
And people do that almost on a daily basis.
Because it's comfortable. It's comfortable to sit down there and be mindless. Thinking and reading is hard.
It's like you're working out the mind.
Yeah. I know people that rather work at a warehouse and do hard labor job than sit down and read. Because it's just so hard for them. Oh my God, they see a book, it's like fucking kryptonite.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. You have to push through it. I'm not gonna lie, but once you do and you see the value behind it, I'm sure it's like. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
Got all this going for yourself. Yeah. Sweet. So what else we got on the agenda for today?
So on the agenda today, let me show you the rest of the house.
Awesome.
Let me show you the girls' room, which I'm very proud of. Probably one of my most proud things because growing up, I didn't have my own room. I always shared a room with my mom, you know, even until I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. So I'll be able to, you know, make a kind of theme room for the girls. It's been one of my proud moments. So this is my girls' room. It's all girly.
This is nice.
And voila.
So their beds up there?
Yes, the beds were up there.
This is really cool. I like this.
A little princess castle kind of theme.
They're lucky to have you as a father, huh?
Well, you know what, man? They always say sometimes things happen in your life you don't know why, and it ends up being the best thing. So for me, probably not having a dad give me that chip on my shoulder to become the best dad and best provider for my family. So for me, it's like seeing my girls smile. You know, when they first came in here, I didn't show them the room till it was all done. And then all of a sudden I revealed the room and they were like, oh my God, Daddy, you know, and they were so happy. And they actually, when they come, they actually want to come in their room and just play in their room. You know, when they ask me, Sam, they say, Daddy, can you afford this? Can you get this for me? And my other daughter tells the little one, of course, it's our dad. You know what he does, you know? And it's just a proud moment. You know,
Yeah.
we were going the other day, we were going to a theme park. We're going to a Great Wolf Lodge. And for the weekend, and my oldest one said something like, Dad, can you get this? Oh no. I said, Dad, are we VIP? Are we VIP again? And then my little one in the back says, duh, we're the Bakhtiars. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh my God, like, I mean, now I set the standard so high for them.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, oh my God, of course, we're with Dad. You know, and that to me makes my heart happy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to raise like spoiled, rotten kids. I'm going to show them the value of money, show them the value of my hard work, but I'm showing them the possibilities. I'm showing them what happens when you grind, when you work hard, and all that kind of stuff.
You know, I want to end it because this is the last room, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to kind of end this interview with, you know, it's interesting you said how obviously, you know, as a father, nobody wants to raise kids that are spoiled. So, what are some tactics that you use or maybe plan to use to help have them understand that? Listen, yes. We have everything. We're able to get whatever you want. However, this didn't come easy. I worked my ass off for it. And as you grow up, you need to realize that and seek that when you want something, you have to work for it. Are there specific things that you do with them?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I have planned this summer is we're going to make a lemonade stand.
Ah, cool.
We're going to make a lemonade stand. I'm going to show them how to go out there and make stuff and sell it for monetary. We're going to have a yard sale. We're going to start putting stuff on Facebook and on eBay and try to say, hey, look, you don't need this anymore. Let's get $1 for it. Let's put it on there. They have not only they have college accounts and all that kind of stuff, but I actually made a savings account for them. So now I have them compete. Which one has more? Believe it or not, they have actually Instagram accounts.
They do?
With like one of them has like 20,000, 22,000 followers.
One of your kids?
Yeah, and the other one has like 17. I started from, I started
Wait,
that
what?
from,
How old
yeah, I 9 and 5.
Oh.
I manage it for them.
Yeah.
And I manage it for them, but I've been posting ever since they were a little kid,
Yeah.
you know, and it's so funny seeing a 9 and a 5-year-old argue about who has more followers. You know, and my 5-year-old can't even say Instagram. It says Instacam. You know what I mean? She's like, Dad, can you post this in my Instacam account? And the other day, my 5-year-old was like, well, Daddy, I have 1 million followers. And then my older one was like, no, you don't. You only have 16,743. I have 22,420. I'm more popular than you do. And I'm looking at them like, oh my God. Because,
Sassy.
because for me, I created that for them because one day, when they grow up to be a teenager, I want to show them how to monetize on it, how to have a following, how to be able to do it. You know, do I want $1 million for them when they grow up, or do I want 1 million followers? Which one is better? Well, if they know how to work it, then 1 million followers is going to be a lot better than $1 million, because from 1 million followers, they can make $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's social currency,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
that I'm building for them.
Do you plan to leave your legacy for them, or do you want them to kind of start on their own and build?
I want to build. You know, I want them for them to build. I'm going to give them the tools and the basic things they need to be able to be successful. I'm going to give them a push.
Yes, yes.
But I'm not going to, you know, give it to
all.
them. No,
Yeah.
no. You
I
know,
see.
I'm not gonna. You know, they need to learn it. You know, they say, you know, you catch a fish for someone to eat for the day.
I see.
You know, but if you teach them to fish, they're gonna eat it a lifetime. I'm gonna teach them to fish, and I'm gonna give them all the proper tools to fish. But I'm not gonna go in there and catch them. They have to do it for themselves.
I see. All right. Well, to end this off, what's one big tip or advice you've learned over the past 30 years on your hustle and your grind that you can provide for everybody that's watching today?
You know, if you manage your day and your time, you manage your life. If you can't manage your time, you manage your day, you're not going to manage your life. So get control of the day, and the way you start the day, the first 30, 45 minutes of how you start the day, sets your whole agenda and your whole focus on how you're going to end the day.
Mr. Sam, I really appreciate you, my man.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for being
so
here.
much for your time.
Of course.